Hochman is getting ready to take over as LA County District Attorney.
He will take office December 2nd after beating incumbent George Gascon, and he won the race by a landslide with the victory secured early. We knew the morning after Election Day. And DA-elect Nathan Hochman joins us live in studio. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
A pleasure to be here.
Another landslide that happened is voters really voted in favor of Prop 36, which looks at certain crimes. I think you go into any, pharmacy, grocery store, things are locked behind cabinets because we've had so many smash and grabs, those types of things. They want a mandate and a focus on public safety. What are you going to do day one to try to reverse some of Gascon's policies?
So what we're going to do on day one is we're going to take the message we got from voters. And I talked to thousands of voters across this county from all different parts of the political spectrum, ultra-left liberals, conservatives, independents. And what they want is they want a DA to do his job so that law enforcement can do their job. So we're going to remove extreme blanket policies of decarceration that determined up front that certain crimes and certain criminals would not be prosecuted even if the facts and the law were there. But I don't replace extreme policies on one side with extreme policies on the other. So I also reject mass incarceration policies that don't look at the facts and the law. They just want to put as many people in prison as possible. Where I come down is the middle. And I call it the hard work middle or the hard middle because you got to do the work. Blanket policies are inherently lazy. The middle policies look at each case individually, the individual defendant and their background, the crime committed, and the impact on the victim, to determine who the true threats are to our public safety and need to be behind bars. Those are often the repeat offenders that Proposition 36 is targeting, and the ones that aren't. Your first-time nonviolent offender still has to pay a debt back to society if they violate society's laws, but that's where non-prison punishments come to play. Community service, restitution, pay it back if you stole something, or if you have a serious drug addiction that got you to do the crime, a diversion program that says you can go to prison or do an 18-month rehab program, and if you succeed with it, we'll wipe that crime off your record.
So to be clear, non-violent, low-level criminals, maybe on their third offense, will not face jail time?
So if you actually go ahead under Proposition 36 and you commit a crime of stealing just under $950 once, convicted, twice, convicted. Now, the first two times didn't dissuade you from doing it a third time. That's when the third time can be felony eligible. So a court could, doesn't have to, could hold you guilty for a felony and put you in jail as a result. But again, the message is a message of deterrence. What we're trying to say is that the lines are back. The lines are the laws. They'll be consistently, fairly, and impartially enforced, but there are real consequences on the other side of the line. So we want you to deter from committing the crime in the first place, thus saving a whole lot of victims in the process.
When you're looking, though, at these low-level nonviolent crimes, a lot of times these are homeless people. And what do you do if they get caught up in the system, they're charged with loitering, disturbing the peace, those types of things over and over again?
It was interesting. Yesterday I spent some time at Homeless Court in Hermosa Beach. And what they do is they actually have a court on a court. It was a pickleball court that they convert once a month, and they turn it into an actual outdoor court with a judge in a robe, public defenders, lawyers, prosecutors, the whole works. And they bring the homeless people there who've committed these low-level crimes. And they work with them because they have all the social service agencies literally lined up there, so that the judge can say, if you have a drug addiction, go talk to the people who can give you services. If you need a job, go talk to this person. If you have certain warrants on your records, go talk to that person. With the idea that, look, we're not going to turn a blind eye to these crimes that are committing, that are destroying in many places the quality of our life. But we're going to work with these people, and if they want to work and actually be part of their own solutions, we'll give them every opportunity. If, on the other hand, they just want to keep committing crimes, ruining the quality of life of our parks, our beaches, our sidewalks, they will then have more harsh consequences as they go through the process.
Let's shift to a different topic. I bet you can guess what it is. The Menendez brothers case. Right now, there is a big public movement, and your predecessor, George Gascon, was also working on possibly tossing the sentence and resentencing them. How are you going to approach this case? I know you have said that you believe this was a political decision by Gascon.
So right now, the Menendez case is on 3 different tracks. The first one's a habeas track. It was filed in May of 2023. It's been under consideration since then. There's a hearing coming up in the week of November 25th. And that's the track that says there's new evidence, and that new evidence should actually get them a new trial. The second track is clemency. That's a petition to the governor that says, let us out right now. The governor couldn't have done that from the day he took office in 2017. He could do it today or never. There's no deadline on clemency. The third track is resentencing. And that's the track that George Gascon, 12 days before his election, when he could have done it over the last 8 months, when he was down 30 points in the polls and out of money, decides to adopt. And he went ahead and filed a motion. That motion basically says that if a judge were to resentence the Menendezes from life without the possibility of parole to 50 years to life, then it would go to a parole board. The parole board, let's say, were to grant parole, then it goes to the governor. The governor has 120 days to make up his mind. He can either agree with it, send it back to a full parole board, or reverse it like he did with Sirhan Sirhan. You might have remembered the assassin of Robert F. Kennedy, who on the 16th parole hearing, when Gascon failed to send a prosecutor with the Kennedy family, they actually got the parole board to grant parole, and Governor Newsom came in and reversed that grant of parole, keeping Sirhan Sirhan behind bars.
Right.
So what plays out going forward? Again, to the extent it were to land on my desk, I'll do the hard work necessary to make the right decision. What does that involve? Reviewing thousands of pages of confidential prison files I don't have access to, thousands of pages of trial transcripts from 2 months-long trials. You got to speak to the prosecutors, defense counsel, law enforcement, victim family members. And only after you've done this hard work to really thoroughly review the facts and the law will I be in a position to weigh in on this case and defend it in court.
So will you be asking for a delay? Because you look at the time frame here. You have a hearing coming up just a few days really after you take office.
So the hearing right now is scheduled for December 11th. If I need more time, I'm not going to ask for delay for delay's sake. I have 34 years of criminal justice experience.
So you can go through all of that in that amount of time?
I have hundreds of cases under my belt. I can work very expeditiously, but if I do need more time, I'll ask for the minimum amount of time necessary to do this review because I owe it to the Menendezes, I owe it to the victim family members, I owe it to the public to make sure that if I do weigh in on this case, it's a decision that has been thoroughly vetted, thoroughly thought through, and I actually can defend in court.
What are your thoughts on pop culture influencing the outcomes and the procedural part of criminal cases? There's the Menendezes, there are several cases. A lot of them.
Well, again, I don't think pop culture should control what a district attorney's office does. Not at all. And the Menendezes will get the same treatment that I will give to any case that doesn't receive this type of media attention. Where I like the media playing its role is getting people interested in the criminal justice system. That's fantastic. I want more and more people to be interested and then go to the next step.
Well, it's a lucrative business, so I don't think you're going to have people turning away anytime soon.
I'm telling you, true crime is an exploding business. But what it should do is get people to go to the next step. Not just be satisfied with whatever information they get from a Netflix limited series or a documentary. Actually go ahead and read the trial transcripts themselves, familiarize themselves with that second trial that didn't actually get media attention because it wasn't televised. And if you actually do that hard work and you actually review the case files, those are publicly available case files that you can download from the court. Read them. They have a lot of information in them. And so if the citizenry wants to use the media and this entry point to pop culture to actually get really involved in the criminal justice system, hallelujah. That is a welcome development, and I hope it happens.
Lots of law and order under our belt.
Also, maybe a way for the court system to make some money by printing all these documents off for people. I don't know. Nathan Hochman, thank you so much for coming in this morning. We really appreciate you being here, and good luck.
My pleasure.
You got a big job ahead of you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.